because a lot of my friends and clients, a lot of times, they know my background. I came here in '97. I studied, I paid for my tuition myself. I studied undergraduate. By the time I graduated, I have 2 full years of work experience. I worked at the automotive industry, one of the biggest computer company in the world in Vancouver. I also worked at an accounting firm, and as a result, a lot of them do seek for my advice, especially after that. I also even attended graduate school. So I do tend to give a lot of advice and just at least my perspective of what's the process like, how you can possibly improve on it, meanwhile, etc. As a result, I just figured that maybe it's actually even easier if I do a video to help even more teenagers or kids that are seeking the same questions or answer, etc. So today, I'm going to have a series of videos talking about how to find a job, how to apply to university, how to select a job, etc. But today, I'm going to talk about how you select your university and what is co-op programs all about, and is it worth it? So I'm going to be focusing a little bit more, if you're talking about industry-wise, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more of the Canadian market, especially in Toronto. However, a lot of the points that I'm going to bring out will be universal. So depending on where you're intending to go, let's see if you can pick out the points that can help you. And if you have questions, of course, you're more than welcome to email me, and I'm more than happy to help you, of course. So without further ado, let's begin at how to select your university. I don't know what grade you're in, but if you're in grade 9, hypothetically speaking, grade 9 or 10, you're at a good point right now, and especially looking at this video and still already thinking about it. If you're in the Canadian curriculum, a lot of the courses require prerequisites, such as from grade 9 or grade 10. So right now, the fact that you're already looking into it, finding out which school you want to go to, what program, it's a great thing. That way, you know about the school, you know about the program, you know about the grades they require, as well as courses. And now you can start planning. So absolutely, it's great. But nonetheless, even if you're in grade 11 or 12, I'm assuming you're still taking a full course load. So just make sure that the program that you're applying to, you already have those courses in place. And it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. Just take your time, think about it, make sure you select the right program, and just take it. And secondly, applying for school. So assuming now we're at grade 12 now, it's time to apply. Here's something that I also suggest to people, is that, you know what, back then it was every 3 university you choose, you pay $99, $100, and then every other is $30. Although some of my clients and friends' kids, they are really bright, but I still suggest, you know what, it's testing your limit, right? And when it's not a lot of money, it's fun. Back then when I applied to 7 because my parents didn't thought I would get accepted to any, so it was just, let's throw things at the wall and see what sticks. But luckily I got accepted to 6 of them, and I knew that, you know what, I was good, but obviously there's still room for improvement. So it's also a nice reality check. So my suggestion is that, you know what, if you can afford it, and apply to a few more, because by the time when you make the decision, sometimes the fact that you make a first choice university doesn't mean that you're actually going there for sure. So sometimes more choices just give you a leeway just in case. And then third, assuming that now you finally received the acceptance, whether it's early acceptance, etc. If you're having any difficulty deciding, what helped me back then was making a pro-con list, and how I divided up was by school and by program, because not all programs are equal. If it's a very specific, unique program, specialized program, yes, then maybe people in the industry would recognize, okay, this is a better school. However, having said that, I did have experiences with some of my friends and etc., where some of the bosses, especially if they're foreigners, They only know that you're within, oh, okay, business, a general degree. They unfortunately might not know a whole lot at times about the program. So obviously, if you can choose a great school and great program, it's a definite plus. But sometimes the things doesn't work out that way. So then you have to just decide, okay, which program is more suitable for me. But if it's a too general program, sometimes my tendency would to be go towards the school with better reputation, the name wise, you know, not a lot of shooting, not having a reputation for crimes or really horrible things on the news, etc. And finally, once you make the decision, then the final step is the most important: enjoy. I know it's tense, it has been crazy, you have been studying, but the decision has been made. And once it is, stand by it. Don't challenge yourself, because there's no right or wrong answer. Right or wrong depends on how you make of it, what you do with it. So once the decision is made, stand by it. A lot of my friends, I've seen that they keep on switching programs. One friend studied business, general business degree downtown for 9 years. Another one switched programs after 4 years to a completely new industry, 8 years, because after 4 years she couldn't find a job. So like they're just different cases, right? And switching and sometimes dragging things out too long, or letting your mind or your heart just do whatever it desires, sometimes it can have its consequences, and sometimes it's not in your face, it's just there. So if you are thinking of in the future switching programs, I would really strongly encourage you to think twice. Make sure that you are actually going into a program that you truly desire. Or else, why did you choose this program in the first place, your current one? Are there mistakes made? What was it? So why did you decide on this new one? It's the worst thing to do is to keep on changing program like 3-4 times, and you just keep wasting efforts and money all over again. So that's about switching programs and selecting program. Also, one final thought of today that I do want to bring up is co-op program, co-op or internship. Depending on where you're coming from, if you know about it, I remember back then when I first chose my program, I thought to myself, what the hell, co-op program, you have to charge me more for finding a job myself that you don't really guarantee me on? But it's not like that, you know, because the school get a selection, they can filter out jobs. Obviously they're going to be crappy jobs, right? I remember there was one window cleaning job. However, the bulk of it, the better of it, some of it doesn't even filter out to the general public. So if you have a summer off, you're just looking at like everybody else, you have no leading edge. However, sometimes the school, I have to say, they do have a leading edge, especially if you're in a specialized program like accounting or something. Some of the school and the bigger firms in the world, they will have agreements, you know, okay, you know what, you have the best student, fine, I'll hire a certain number from you, and that's that. And if you're part of that program, then you would just increase your chances instead of just wasting time working your way up and spending 3-4 years, etc. So there's a good reason why people, you know, why certain programs are well known and why certain schools are more well known than others. So if you get a choice between co-op and non-co-op, and if you have to work for a living in the future, it will be a good idea. Don't look at the short-term cost, look at the long-term big picture. Although you're paying $500 to $1,000 each term, however, think about the time in case if the economy slows down and you don't have a job for the next 1 year or 2 and then decide to switch to a whole new program. How much would that cost, right? So I hope today's video gave you some idea on how to select schools, how to narrow it down, what co-op program is all about, and look forward to my future videos in regards to interview, etc. I hope it's going to give you some more insight. Thank you. Like and subscribe.